YouTube, welcome to the top 8 grand finale and top deck list of the Meta Weekly. We're starting this off with Punk against Branded. Pesci boy, super top tier with Branded. Can we stop Punk? Let's find out by watching as long as you can. That greatly supports these videos. And we're possibly on the dawn right before a big new pack release where the meta is going to get completely shaken up. Do be ready for that. And I would also encourage you to please, as this video should be uploaded before this event happens, show up to this stream, the no ban list tournament. All banned cards will be limited to 1 plus current limits. You can let me know in the comments what you think is going to be breaking the event. I really hope that there isn't a single deck type dominating everything, which could possibly be tier limit. Now, they're still going to have Hovness limited to 1. The Kalbeck and Agito still going to be limited to 1. So I would think that tier should not be the sole most dominant tier 0 deck, but we'll find out on Wednesday and Thursday. By watching as long as you can, that greatly supports these videos. Hajime.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
Oak to 1, that's right, it goes to 1. Kit on summon, searching for a Branded Fusion, returning the banishment back in the deck. Let's Branded Fuse it up. We have no hand traps whatsoever. Albion, the Branded Dragon, is here. Let's fuse away the Kit and Albaz Engrave into our Lubellian Searing Dragon. If you want to get good with Branded, a quick little reference to some of the combos could be on the tier list when Branded is there, or get to the Branded deck type in any way. And then you can see on the Branded deck type breakdown, not only how to play the deck, how to build it, and all the top deck lists below, you could just click on the combos. Alubur, Foolish, Sark, Brafu, Deploy, Car, Alubur, all that is going to bring up all the combo plays, the starting hand, and the ending fields. This is the way. Now, what are the disruptions that we ended up on? You have Super Poly, Fuse of the Field. We have Banishment, which is going to fuse of the field into a form of disruption, into a Mercurial Search, Monster Negate, non-target monster Banish. We also have Max C. About 5 forms of disruption on the surface. Let's see what's good. E, teleport into the wagon. If you try to target me, we're going to be drawing a card. Well, I'm not targeting you. I'm going to non-target monster banish you. Chain the E, teleport, summon from the deck. Be gone, the wagon, as we have Ogre on the field. Ogre can be chained to Branded Lost only if Branded Lost is the final chain link and Branded Lost is not activating based off of a chain link 1 fusion. You understand that? That would be, let's say you chain link 2 Banishment or chain link 2 Polymerization and then Lost on the highest chain link. Then and only then can Ogre stop the Lost. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Search for Rising Scale, Foxy Tune is going to send itself plus an Ogre to summon from the deck a Deer Note. We're going to be Chain Link 1 fusing away 2 bodies on the field for the Mood Dragon. Now, if the Lost activates, the Ogre cannot chain. No chain. Grab the Mercurial Monster Negate. Let's scoop it up, mate. Didn't even have to use Banishment. Now, Banishment, whenever we want, could have summoned a Star Source, pop 2 cards on the field, and you can't even respond to your 2 cards getting popped. Thank you, Blazing Zero. Appreciate you. Tracked, searching for a Lurie. We did not ash that. We're holding on to our ash. Pop a card, negate a monster, negate a spell and trap, negate a monster, Little Knight Banish on summon, Little Knight Banish again. 6 disruptions. We have a Super Poly, but generally to Super Poly, you need 2 monsters on the field with the same attribute. Light, Water, Dark. Well, we could provide the second attribute that's similar to what they already have. Branded Fusion. Now let's read the Dragite. I talked about Baron to Floor. I talked about another spell and trap card activation negate. Now, does the Ryzen Dragite meet that criteria? Negate the activation, meaning we get to use the second Branded Fusion. Got him. So with that, let's follow up with another Branded Fusion in a row. Ain't no way. Summon the Albion Branded Dragon. With our Albion Branded Dragon on summon, we're going to use the Jam Fever to negate. We're going to Mercurial negate the negate. We're going to Imperm negate the Albion. We're going to super poly dodge the negate. So we negate the negate, imperm trying to negate, dodge the negate, no negate, say goodbye to the Mask Arena Little Knight play. And now we have already used up Jam Fever, Dragite. All we're left with is a surprise. And surprise, what are we going to pop? Come forth, Mirror Jade. With our one surprise, it would then wipe away our field in the end phase. We're going to be non-target monster banishing, using the surprise right now before the Jam Fever gets potentially banished. Thus, the surprise would not be able to even take out the Mirror Jade. With the Dragite now being banished, we're going to say goodbye to the Jam Fever, but first we're going to resolve our other effects. We're going to set up a banishment, and this is not a good spot to be in against Branded. If they have a properly summoned Mirror Jade and they set a banishment, they could just summon it with the banishment straight up like a Call of the Haunted. We have a Quem sending from the deck to the grave, a Retribution, say goodbye to the Jam Fever. What we have here is a Mirror Jade non-target monster banished through the banishment. We also have a way to add a card engraved back to a hand with the Retribution to then use Albaz to reborn. Do we have a way to get Albaz in graveyard? The Quem did not send an Albaz in the deck to the graveyard, so we're gonna have to see what happens here. The Quem could also be another way to reborn the Mirror Jade in response to a monster leaving the extra deck. Let's banish it up. Let's reborn the Mirror Jade. And with the reborn Mirror Jade, we're gonna non-target monster banish the Punk Seaman before it activates. Now, this is a secret effect, which I can't even remember what it does. What? When a monster your opponent controls with 2,500 or more attack activates, you could change it to face down defense. What? Okay. Get flippin'. Banish the Punk Seaman, as we have the Quem triggering to reborn the Albion. Just another body on the field. It's not resulting in a form of disruption here. Banish from Engrave to summon the Foxy Toon. If the Mirror Jade gets destroyed, it was not fusion summoned, thus it will not wipe away the field during the end phase. We did not have an extra deck monster to trigger the Little Knight, unfortunately. Retribution, add back the Branded Fusion. Do you want to know what flipping down Mirror Jade accomplished? It's accomplished what Pesci Boy wanted. I now can Mirror Jade again during the next turn, where otherwise I would have not been able to. It actually helped. We have opening off the top of the deck, Fusion Deployment to summon for the deck a Cartesia. As we flip up the Mirror Jade, now activatable, scoop it up. Did flipping it down matter? Not really. We're just going to lose anyway. That's a 2-0. Let's go. Pesci Boy advancing to the top 4. Begin. Shifter. What the shift? We're going to summon the horse, and as your attempt to summon cards from the deck to the grave, send that is, we're going to get shifting. Now, we could chain Bone Party to ensure at least one card is sent to the grave. Do we respond to the Shifter? Is Shifter an auto win against Memento? Let's find out. Pop the horse. Banish another horse. Okay, sure. And we're still under the effect of Shifter, as you can see here. Any card sent to the grave is banished instead. We could Super Poly. We could Bone Party into not a form of disruption. Maxi is not even activatable. The cost is to send this to the graveyard. Not possible. So I think we just have Super Poly. Sanjin. Come forth. Searching for the Golem. Battle. Already battle. Huh? What were we, we play around Super Poly or something? What's, Little Knight is here. Just Little Knight pass, that's it. Bone Party pop, summon an Anguish. Anguish search our deck for a horse. The third and final horse is here. You can special summon the horse. The Little Knight could chain banish the horse, forcing it to pop the Anguish, which could only send up to level 3. This checks the level of what it destroys. It's very important. Thus, you do want to Little Knight banish it. If you could, what do you Super Poly here, right? Quick check. We would obviously want the Anguish and the Little Knight, which then ensures the Little Knight can't banish the horse. The horse will then successfully pop itself, as this is the perfect play. Use these two bodies, nullify her effect, It has to banish both cards. Now you can't. No banish. We pop. We send 2 to 3 cards. We have Gaddock and the Sheeple. Sheeply, that is. Acheron trigger when a card is destroyed. That is Memento. It's going to be able to reborn. Gaddock add back. Acheron allows to attack directly with our level 9 or highers, which is exactly 8,000 damage to the boss monster plus Creation King. Sleepy is here. You could Sleepy in the battle phase, which is insane, but we don't even need it, as we already have lethal damage thanks to your Millennium cards dropping you to 4,000 life. Don't do it, don't do it. Come on, call Earth. Earth, easy win. We did not summon an Earth, and then we summoned an Earth. Was this a mistake? All right. Let's summon 2 bodies and search our deck. Maybe Dark will be good enough. So if I want to check that Dark is good enough, let's type in filter Memento and Dark. So right now, these monsters that are dark cannot be special summoned. In this order, this is the most popular dark monsters of the deck. Anguish is normally normal summoned. Darkblade is normal summoned. I guess Goblin and Gaddock can't be special summoned. You summon Chimera usually during the opponent's turn. I guess you can't Little Knight, you can't Anaconda. Dark seems weak. Stopping the summon of Gaddock is pretty good, though. All right, let's go. Super Poly, let's fuse away the field, say goodbye to the Ulti Ray and the Apollo USA, which I didn't catch how much disruptions was on the Apollo, but the monster negates plus the Ulti Ray being able to banish a card in the field now gone. We just have Steeds. Steeds can destroy monsters in the field equal to the amount of Ritual Beasts we control, plus they can't special summon dark monsters. They normal summoned a dark, which is completely legal. And now we're fusing into a light. Not that we should have called light, right? I mean, if we called light, what was the benefit of calling light? They can't special twin, they can't special mace, they can't dice smash you. Let's grab the horse and a Sleepy. Sleepy being Earth. The horse is freaking Earth. The whole deck is Earth. Special summon a light. Special the Sleepy, which would not be legal. This fusion summon would not be legal. Now, Protoss cannot be destroyed by card effects, which the Creation King may attempt to do here. No, it did not. We're going to use the Tamer Laura Engraver to protect the Tamer Laura on field from being destroyed by card effect, and also trigger the effect when banished after protecting to summon an Elder from the deck. We have Acheron activating so that our level 9 or highers can attack directly, as we now cross sheep it up. Use Memento Fusion to pop our cross sheep to search our deck for a Bone Party. We're now going to use the graveyard, returning 5 cards back to come forth and summon into our Combined Creation. Combined Creation can attack directly for 5,000, but if we can't summon the Creation King in addition to that to attack for 8,000, what do? Well, we can attack everything. Attack 1, attack 2, wipe out the Protoss. We didn't have a Bone Party play for piercing damage. Was Bone Party lethal? No, right? It's like that'd be 3,000 even if it was at full. 3,000. Wait. I think Bone Party was lethal. If we could have Bone Partied, right? Bone Party was game. Oh, shite. I messed up and couldn't get Bone Party engraved. Yeah, you summoned the cross sheep. So what would happen is we sent Acheron and Mood Dragon for cross sheep. What we could have done is Memento Fusion pop instead of making cross sheep, and then Bone Party pop the Acheron, right? Pop the Mood Dragon, pop the Acheron, and then with the Bone Party and Graveyard, we have the same play, and we are at 5,000 attack plus a small reduction, piercing battle damage through 3 bodies. Anguish, come to us. Our horse. Or special summon. Is this the same duel? It's a different duel, right? We just have this card's limited to 1 and you just keep opening it. This is game 3. What the? Limited to 1 shifter. Don't mind if I do. Pop the horse, banish a horse, similar to game 1. This is definitely a different duel. What we could do if we're cheeky, we could break out, add the goblin instead of summoning it, or yeah, that's what we could do. And then on the resolution, we could Fool Loss. But can we even Fool Loss under shifter? I believe we can. You could discard this card, you could still Fool Loss while we control nothing, and we could also Ash. So we have Ash plus Fool Loss after we get rid of our monster. Senjin into the back row. We possibly want to Ash that. We did not Ash this Senjin. We have the Wedju Temple, which will be placed in a Senjin plus the Golem. Summon the Golem. Let's teleport, which we are now going to Ash negate. We did not open a way to make use of the Fool Loss, not that we definitively should. We now have Cross Sheep. Cross Sheep plus the Nemesis Flag. We're going to return the Golem back in the deck. Nemesis Flag, search our deck for Protos. There's no way we could summon Protos. Protos is using the graveyard or face-up fields. Little Knight banishing away the Breakout. To battle we go. Take out the Anguish, getting banished. Darkblade is full combo, but Little Knight could banish the Darkblade, thus you don't have full combo. And Maxi is now activatable where otherwise it wasn't. We need another play. This is not the way. Sleepy cannot be used. Only if a Memento was destroyed can we even special summon it, and then we need another Memento to even fuse with. Now, the way to destroy is the Darkblade destroying itself, but Little Knight is going to stop that. Well, take it out. So now it's just Maxi. Maxi got him. You will get destroyed. You will be able to summon from the deck. You will be able to Sleepy, but you're in main phase 2. Under Maxi. What do you do? Gianna, was that fireworks or gunfire? I don't know. All right. Come forth and summon the horse. She's got headphones in, so she can't even tell me to get down. Sleepy is here into the Creation King. Another Maxi. Semi-limited, by the way. We're going to send 3 cards in the deck and our extra decks to the graveyard. We're going to banish the Creation King, searching for our Memento field spell. 4th of July, a couple days early, yes? Memento field spell, set back up the Bone Party. We have the ability to pop 1 card on the field. We could then reborn into... We don't really have another way to get disrupted beyond that. Wedju Temple into the back row, send both for our Doom Dragon. Push the Creation King to the back row. Chain Creation King pop itself plus the Doom Dragon. Not today. And we now get to trigger the field spell, trigger the Akron Reborn, reborn another monster. Shite! This is draw 2! Freaking back-to-back Maxi! Draw 1, and draw 2. How nice. Anguish grabbing a Darkblade from the deck. We have Rapangu into Let's Scoop, man. I mean, how many pluses did you get off the freaking Maxi? Too many. Good job. Let's hop into another match. Rogue Doll, this is where you'd want to be chaining your Ash 2. Ideally, we have Fool Loss, draw per summon from the deck or extra deck. Bubble up the deck and extra deck as we summon a Little Soldier from the deck. Little Soldier sent from the deck, the Cattle Scream. We're going to triple Tactics Talent, go for the draw 2 play. Come to me. We have another Impulse and Call by the Grave as we further play under the effect of Fool Loss. Machine X is going to be detaching, searching for our rank up Magic Force. Chaos Force, that is. With the power of Chaos, we're going to turn the Machine X into a Chaos version of itself. We are now going to on summon search for a Service Puppet play, set 4 in pass. Is this the way? What does this card even do? As you see, Gimmick Puppets constantly searching this but never using it because they usually just win on the very first turn. Target monster your opponent control up to the number of Gimmick Puppet exceeds, and then you take control of them until the end phase. We have a Yoink. We have an Impulse negate a special summon. We have a Droplet negate. We have Call by the Grave, finger a card in grave. We also have on the Machine X itself a form of Disruption. Did you even know it disrupts? If a monster is special summoned, you can destroy that monster and then deal damage. So 5 Disruption plus a Max C. Let's go. Drop the C, finger the C. Surely, we have no way to stop it, unfortunately. Negate. 5 disrupt should be enough to completely thwart his play. Volcanics pop a fire to search for a Ponix. Now, did you know that Ponix and the Garunix cannot activate in the same chain because you can't activate monsters that trigger to summon from the hand, even if one's in the grave? You can't activate both because that is pretty much an unwritten rule. You just can't. Impulse, negate. Still have Finger, Droplet, Puppet, and Machine X. 4 disruption. Bonfire out of Poplar. Poplar trigger. Impulse already used. We're gonna grab an original Sinful. We could steal, we could negate, we could finger, we could pop. What do we pop? What do we steal? What do we negate? What do we finger? Nightmare Phoenix is gonna pop a back row card here. Discard, taking out the puppet play. We're gonna use Droplet to protect our play. Negate. We could steal, pop, and finger. Or finger, pop, and steal. Reborn the Lurie. Little Knight on summon. Banish away. Say goodbye to the service puppet play. This means we passed on the trigger to pop the Little Knight. Yoink it. Yoink. Thank you. We have a finger and a pop. Pop and finger, summon the Ponix. Ponix on summon, search our deck for the Fire King Sanctuary. Set up the Fire King Island. Pop Garunix to search for a Kirin. Trigger Ponix to summon itself onto the field. As you now turn both bodies into the moon of the closed heaven, a perfect pop. That's a pop all day. And with finger left, we didn't even have to finger anything. Scissor Arms. When this card is normal summon, you could send a gimmick puppet from your deck to the graveyard. We are going to be fingering the Garunix, preventing it from being reborn to then destroy all other monsters on the field. We're going to cross out, designate, negate the finger. Not today. We will reborn. We will wipe out the field. We're going to wipe out all monsters on the field, the other ones, that is. And now with the Scissor Arms, send from the deck to the grave, the Rogue Doll and send to the grave, add back to the hand. Can we inflict 7,400 damage here? We're going to reveal, summon the Little Soldiers. Little Soldiers on summon is going to send from the deck the Dreary Doll, which could reborn from the grave. We're going to gimmick Puppet of Strings, which will put a puppet counter onto every other monster on the field as we add back the rank up Chaos Magic. By putting a puppet counter on you, that means we could pop you and deal damage equal to your attack. We're going to reborn the Cattle Scream, making sure it does not have a puppet counter yet. As we now use the Little Soldier to change the level of the Scissor Arms, going into another gimmick Puppet of Strings. We're going to trigger the effect of the Machine X Reborn itself from engrave. To battle we go. We are going to be triggering the effect of multiple effects here. What's going to happen all within the damage step is the Garunix will be able to trigger the effect of Kirin to non-target pop a card in the field, as we also summon a monster from the deck through the effect of the Garunix. And that monster will be an Arvata, which will be able to negate a monster effect. Thus, we have double disruption. Pop a card and negate another. We will... Isn't that the one that attacked? We got confused on who attacked. Is there... I think we popped the wrong one. Okay. Arvata trigger. Reborn a negated Ponix. Is that going to kill us? Because we didn't pop the right puppet. The other one already attacked. We are going to use the effect of the Fire King Sanctuary. What the heck are we even doing? What's going to happen is we're going into the Hayang. And Hayang on summon is going to wipe out everything. All other monsters on the field into the scoop. Let's hop into game 2. Begin. Attempt a first turn kill again. First, we got hit by the Fool Loss. Second duel, we get hit by the Max freaking C. Ain't no way. Activate the C. Now, does the Rogue Doll perform the summon at the same time, or is this a draw 2? It's a draw 1. Nibiru is a draw 2. Rogue Doll is a draw 1, as you can see there. Machine X is going to be searching our deck. Kirin is going to be popping. So what happens here is Kirin could pop Ponix, trigger Garunix. Garunix could then pop a Kirin, and then we could reborn Ponix and then pop a card in the field. Or we could Impulse. Impulse will negate the Kirin. Can we chain link block the Kieran in some way? There's no way that we're popping it. Rank this up into a Giant Hunter. Giant Hunter is here with the ability to detach a card, target, burn for 3,000. Yeah, Nibiru wasn't very good now, was it? That was a problem. Yep. Target, destroy it. If it's a monster, 3K. 1-1 under the Maxi challenge. Very well done, boy. Begin as you, hey, you maxied me, you fool. All right, you fingered my C. That's not fair. What the hell? Volcanics, Ponix is full combo. Are we going to be able to break their field? For Gimmick Puppet to be good going second, they have to have Condolence Puppet, and it has to actually resolve. And what you send to the grave has to actually be activatable to make your cards untargetable and unrespondable. A lot of things can go wrong. We have negate a monster, negate anything. We have negate 3 monster effects. We have pop with Apollo. We then have Amble Whale, pop a card in the field, non-targeting. We then have, do we have Garunix in there? And an Arvata, we already have Arvata. We have Garunix, which will be able to pop a card by popping the Kieran. We have at least 8 disruptions. Why would you finger, he's doing this because he knows he lost. Boy is having a good old boy time. That's all that is. He knows that's not good. We all know. Summoning Maxi is pretty good, though. Swinging into Amble Whale, that, you know, almost did something. Very well done. The first turn killed deck got first turn killed. Discarding our Concerto or Diablo Star against no hand traps whatsoever because we are playing 60 cards, thus we're much less likely to be able to draw into them. Triple monster negates. We have Sylvia negate anything. We have Promethean Princess, pop the Amble Whale on a special summon plus pop an additional monster. We have the Ash negate interaction with the deck. And if the Amble Whale gets destroyed, but not by Promethean Princess, it could summon Masquerena. It's probably not going to happen. We have about 6 disruptions. Why Flamers in deck? I think we made a mistake, right? Flamers should have been putting Masquerena into the back row, which means we lost about 2 disruption. 8 disruption, we now have 6 instead. Snake Eyes surely cooked. Albaz on summon, discard Tragedy to attempt to fuse. We are going to pop the Albaz. With Albaz being popped, the fusion is no good. With Call to the Grave stopping the pop, the fusion will be good. With Sylvia negating the negate, the fusion will not be good. With the Brandon Red adding the Tragedy back to the hand, let's see what happens off of that. So Sylvia already negated. Add back the Tragedy. We're going to fuse the Tragedy and the Albaz into a Lubellion. The Albaz fuse is no good. Promethean, also no good. We still have our triple monster negates. And because, wait, you didn't finger, oh, you tried to finger, but then the Sylvia negated, surely. Very good. Now we have the Lubellion Searing Dragon being chain link blocked with a Tragedy, thus the Apollo cannot negate the Searing Dragon. We will still negate the Tragedy from searching the deck, as the Lubellion will be fusing into our Mirror Jade. Now, Kang is thinking, I had Ash. What, how are you making plays without Branded Fusion, mate? We have Mirror Jade send the Albion to non-target monster, banish away the Flamebirds, which will now be gone for the game, as the Titan Cloud attempts to summon from the deck a Quem, as we negate. Flame Burst pushing the Mirror Jade into the back row is a really good play, which we could still do with a Snake-Eyed Diablo Star. The Mirror Jade already non-target monster banished. If the Mirror Jade is stuck in the back row, then it's still considered to be controlling your only one Mirror Jade that you're allowed to have. We're going to use the Retribution to negate the Promethean Princess non-target attempting to reborn from Engrave. We're going to return back the Titan-clad in Albion to negate that hard once return effect of reborning. We're going to trigger the Amble Whale to reborn a monster. Or actually, I should say, using the effect to non-target pop a card. Fingering the Mirror Jade, stopping the effect of wiping away the opposing field during the end phase. All right. We want to commit to the field without it getting wiped. Hollowed as Amina will be summoning a Sylvia. Just protect Sylvia. Sure. We have a negate anything with Sylvia. The Promethean Princess is dead. We have no fire monster on the field to trigger. Albaz off the top of the deck. What do we do here? We just summon it. We're going to summon it. We're going to activate it. We're going to negate it with the Sylvia. Negate, but does not destroy. Albaz remains on the field. And with the Retribution, we're making big plays. Retribution, add back the Branded Fusion after we force the negate with the Sylvia. Mate, let's Branded Fuse it up. Send for the deck a Cartesia and Albaz to summon our Albion. Albion on summon is going to activate the fuse, can still declare an attack. And just like that, into game 2 we go. Nicely done. Start off with the Ostinato play, similar to a Branded Fusion. We're going to send from the deck to summon a Bacha. Do I have enough finger and toes for these disruptions? What the heck? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? Wait, 12 is if you had Promethean. 11. 11 disruption. That is more than our hand. We do have Super Poly though. Now, oh boy. I mean, it's so great, right? We have 4 monster negate and an Omni negate, but you just played into a Super Poly by having 2 wins on the field. So with 1 Super Poly, you could say goodbye to 5 disruptions with 1 Super Poly. Super Poly is going to be going for those 5 forms of disruption. So -5 off 11, we're now down to only 6 disruption. But you triggered the field spell in the battle phase, so we can now delete 2 more disruption with the Moo Dragon. Or we go for Sylvia instead. All right. Now, what do we have left? We have Nibiru, Ash, Called By, Double Little Knight. We still have 5 disruption. Branded opening, summoning the Alubur. Alubur on summon, searching for our Branded Fusion, which you could have 20 negates, but the only thing that matters is that Ash freaking Blossom mate. Negate the Branded Fusion. This is game 3, right? I got mixed up. Is this it? Yusuf, no! Push the Albert into the back row. As we add back the Holidays. I mean, he didn't set duplication because he doesn't care. He knows it's just gonna... he'll like Massacre and a Banish maybe. I don't know. He just feels hopeless. Copeless, hopeless. He's done. He just wants it to end. Wait, that was game 2? Oh, I'm mixed up. Did he even win? Wait. Oh, I'm so sorry. There's game 3. What is good here? We have to deal with the Nibiru, but nothing else. Does Branded really care about Nibiru? Do you even have it in your thoughts when making your plays, or can you simply just play around it naturally? We're already at 2 summons, as we had our Branded Fusion. Fuse it up, send Albaz and Lubellion for the Albion. Let's fuse up further into the Lubellion. Lubellion is going to fuse now into our 5th summon Mirror Jade. Do we want to Nibiru before the summon of Lubellion or on the summon of Lubellion, attempting to set up a branded Lost? This is potentially where you would just Nibiru. That's it. Nibiru it up. Cartesia is going to ensure that we also have a Grand Granule in the graveyard. And with the Grand Granule in grave, it will trigger off of the Nibiru. Because the Nibiru is going to summon a monster through a monster effect. Grand Granule will trigger to summon from the deck a Quem. Quem will send from the deck a Brandon High Spirits. You have duplication, Cartesia add back. This did not matter against Branded. That Nibiru was weak. I'm not saying Kang made a mistake, but oh my Jesus. We get Quem or Banishment, Reborn the Mirror Jade for non-target monster banish. And if we have an Albaz in graveyard, we do not. We can also duplication, get an Albaz in grave plus set up a disruption. Albaz can be reborn and then fuse to their field into a form of disruption. And we are, at least, and then we have the banishment, fuse to the field into a form of disruption. We have at least 6 forms of disruption. The battle we go. Duplication at the start of the battle phase, copying the effect of Branded Fusion. Send for the deck to summon our Albion. The Golden Sword Soul can reborn, summon a Cartesia onto the field. Quem is going to be triggering, reborning the Mirror Jade for that non-target monster banish play. Let's banish in the graveyard to summon our Borreload Furious. Borreload Furious is allowing the Quem to die since she already got her use out of reborning the Mirror Jade. As we now main phase 2, Diablo Star. Original Sinful, which we could pop with the Borreload. We're not. Now we are. But the thing is, you think you're stopping Original Sinful, you're not. Original Sinful's main effect here is going to be searching for a Snake Eye Ash to normal summon, but we are successfully YOLO stopping the Hollowed Azamina. There could be a Deception randomly in the hand, but there isn't. So no fusion summon for you. We still have the effect to search for Snake Eye Ash. Returning back the Poplar. And we're going to commit to the field into a Little Knight, which cannot banish on summon. Normal summon, Refrain over Snake Eye Ash. Is it really that good? Convince me. Couplet, further link this off into Beyond the Pendulum. Beyond the Pendulum on summon, searching for a Refrain. We now could Pendulum summon the Snake Eye Ash, right? Wait, the Pendulum scales are 1 to 9. You're a 1. You can't do that. That's cheating. Branded Banishment is going to be reborning to go into, what is this? What is this? Star Source. Pop both your Pendulum scales, mate. Ain't no way. And doesn't the Beyond the Pendulum have an extra downside if you don't Pendulum summon? You are going to add a Pendulum, but for the rest of the turn, unless you Pendulum summon, you cannot activate monster effects, and the effects of any cards in your Pendulum zones are negated. Meaning, if we lose our Pendulum scales right now and we Bonfire search for a Poplar, it can't even freaking activate. Uh-oh. Yep. Quem is going to be triggering on its summon. Golden Sword Soul is going to summon a Cartesia, ideally one from the graveyard, not from the hand. But if it's from the hand, I guess that's okay. Was there one from the grave? That's the one from the hand. Come forth. We are going to... Why am I Poplar no activate? Oh, shite. I can't. Damn. Nicely done. 2-1 victory. Yusuf doesn't need hand traps to beat decks. Just open up Super Poly. Wonderful board breaker. Let's go. So what do we have here? We have a great way to summon Masquerena from the graveyard. Normally you don't, because the Promethean pop in the Ambler Whale ensures that you can't summon Masquerena due to being locked in a fire, but the Kirin in hand. If Kirin pops Ambler Whale, that's going to reborn Masquerena to give us a double banish play with Little Knight. And in addition to that, we could then use the Promethean Princess later if we had onto the Kirin, and then By popping Kieran, we could reborn Arvata, pop a card, and then Arvata can also be a monster negate. So that was the effect of Little Knight Banish, the Promethean Princess, the Kieran pop, the Arvata. We also have Amble Whale. When a Link 3 or lower is popped, we could then pop a card in the field. And I haven't even got to the Desiree or Apollo yet, as we have double monster negate with the Apollo. We have Desiree negate up to 2 cards in the field. If used to link with Masquerena, it will send a card in the field to the graveyard that's 10 disruption. And then we have Droll and Lockbird for 11. This doesn't look like 11 disruption, but that is the ceiling. Let's go. Very good. Now we don't have 2 fires. Sometimes Snake Eye Fire King will have an Arvata plus an Amble Whale, and if you super poly them up, that can just screw up everything. It can turn off an immense amount of disruptions. Droll and Lockbird, we are going to be chaining Serenir here. Chain the Apollo, we could still finger. We're still within the chain. We're gonna chain Branded Opening. We're not fingering the Droll. Nope. Aluber Reborn, and the 11 disruption by losing the effect of one of the Apollos. We're now down to 10 disruption. We're under the effect of Droll. We have knocked off the Desiree. Desiree in graveyard will now trigger to send a card from the field to the grave if we want to. We passed on that. We're going to Apollo negate. We're going to Coritis, turn off the negate by reducing you to 0 attack, mate. If you're playing Branded and you see an Apollo, summon Quiritis to turn off her negate. Send a Branded Fusion from the deck to the grave. Quem is going to send from the deck a Branded Lost. We're going to use Tragedy to set up the Lost. What Lost is going to do is it ensures that the Promethean Princess cannot respond to a fusion summon. That's going to be a big problem. And if we can't use Promethean in response to a fusion summon, how do we trigger the Garunix? Well, this is private knowledge, right? We don't know that there's a secret Kieran in the hand, which could just trigger the plays anyway. Branded Lost, we're going to Kieran right now. We're not going to take the risk that they're going to fire off a fusion play. We are going to Amble Whale, Reborn the Masquerena. We have Call by the Grave, fingering the Garunix. The Garunix was needed to reborn Arvata and trigger the Kieran. So what now? As we reborn the Masquerena, we still have the Promethean Princess, which can still trigger the Kieran here since we have another Kieran, not a Kieran from the deck. We're gonna use Masquerena plus the Apollo to go into a Little Knight double banish. We still have Promethean, and we still have Arvata, and we still have Kieran. Still have 5 disruption. This is crazy how much more disruptions we still have. Banish away the Branded Lost, take out the Little Knights. We have Amble Whale triggering to non-target, pop a card in the field, taking out the Quem. And we still have Promethean, Kieran, and Arvata negate. We still have 3 disruption. Wow, is this a duel? We're still going into Branded Fusion, and this is where we're gonna be popping off with the Promethean backed up with the Kieran, and also a negate with the Arvata. I don't really know what's gonna happen here. Going straight into Mirror Jade. Perfect. Perfect. By going right into Mirror Jade and not delaying the summon of the Mirror Jade, we can ensure that Kieran doesn't get destroyed by Promethean, thus ensuring that Arvata does not get summoned off of the Kieran. So we lose the Kieran, we lose the Arvata, but there still is Promethean Princess. Is there a Branded Opening in the graveyard though? There is. Branded Opening will protect the Mirror Jade from being destroyed by the Promethean Princess. Promethean, banish, no Kieran pop, no Arvata negate, and Branded Opening protect the Mirror Jade from being destroyed. Right? No, I don't care. Fine, destroy my Mirror Jade. I'm not going to even banish my opening. I'm totally cool with Mirror Jade wiping you out and Aluber reborning from the grave. And you may be thinking, why? Well, Mirror Jade already used its effect on non-target monster banish, meaning it can't use it again during the next turn. So as I keep on saying with Branded, they don't even care about their Mirror Jade leaving the field. You're almost helping them every time you get rid of it, because now the banishment can reborn the Mirror Jade, fuse with your field with the Aluber plus whatever you have, and then non-target monster banish with the Mirror Jade. Well, we still got the normal summon, all right? It didn't pop a fire, we didn't trigger the Garunix. Isn't Garunix fingered right now? Yeah, the real Garunix is gone. Gonna grab Eponyx for that normal. We're gonna Banishment for the Mirror Jade right here, right now for the non-target monster banish. We unfortunately don't have a card in the hand to Reborn Albaz with the Rinbrum. Oh, he's ending. He's ending his turn. Oh my, well, it is over now. Add the Branded Fusion, thanks to the Quem. Wham bam, thank you ma'am. There's nothing Funky can do. Funky is not funking it up. I think Funky essentially surrendered because of the banished Garunix. That was it. It is a one of. It is banished. We're not going to have a trigger play off of the Skyburn. What you'd want to do is pop Ponix with Skyburn, trigger Garunix, but Garunix is banished. Banished. Lethal damage. I would think that it's got to be a high priority for your Desiree to negate the finger. Again, because we are a branded Chad. We don't have any hand traps. Let's speed this up. We have the Kieran to pop Amble Whale to Reborn the Masquerena to go into a double Little Knight banish. We have the effect of the Amble Whale secondary when a Link 3 or lower is destroyed to pop a card in the field. We then have the effect of Kieran to Reborn Arvata to pop a card in the field. We have Arvata to negate a monster. We then have Apollo USA with the double monster negates. We have Ash negate an interaction with the deck. And we have Promethean Princess on special summon, get poppin'. Only 9 disruption. Funky, are you even trying? Okay. Fusion deploy. Deploy the Albaz. Albaz on summon, attempting to fuse as the Apollo will negate. Down to 8. We got grass, mate. We have to bait the Ash in some other way. Can we do it? Kieran pop Amblo, Reborn the Masquerena. The Little Knight play is coming. Probably because Yusuf has attempted to enter the battle phase. We're gonna steal the Magnum Hut before the Masquerena. Woo, that's a scoop. We don't even want to reveal that we play grass. Nah. Bro, the Ash is public knowledge. If he scooped while not knowing there's Ash with the grass in hand, that would make no sense whatsoever. Sunlight Wolf added it back. We're not going to do that. No way. We're going to Gold Sark, banish the Mercurier, grabbing an Albion. Albion is going to send from the deck to the Graveyard Branded Sword to add back the Mercurier. Chain the Branded High Spirits to get the Albion Shrouded Engrave instead of drawing a card. We now have a way to summon a Quinn during the end phase. Kit is here. With our kits, we have the Sword adding back the Mercurier first. We're just waiting with the Droll, Maxi, and Fualas. Allure of Darkness, draw 2, banish away the Albion Shrouded. We're now hoping you activate something so that we could use the Triple Tactics talent. Funky is holding. Hold it up. Special the kit now. I'm gonna maxi you. Now I'm gonna use Triple Tactics talent. Under the effect of maxi, it can still be a good idea to summon your Albion Sanctifier. We're gonna return back the Branded Banishment. Look at that hand. Let's drop the Full Loss. Now, if you're under Full Loss and maxi, is it still worth it to get a Sanctifier on the field? I think you have to do it still. Unless we had an out. Whoa, we did not. Well, to be fair, bro, you're gonna summon Quem and he's gonna draw 2. So you had the choice of summon Sanctifier, they draw 2, or summon Quem, they draw 2. Now, there's another option here. How about they draw nothing? By adding Albaz to the hand and I fuse with Cartesia and Albaz with the protection of Mercurier, we're gonna have the ability to non-target monster banish. We can Mercurier negate a monster. I think option C is the play. Search Albaz. I see people saying in the chat, that's the way. Yup. Yes, sirree. Got him. Shotgunning Arvata should be good. But you're supposed to have another fire in your freaking hand, mate. What the hell? Yeah, oh, wait, you're not negating. Oh, yep, can't even negate. Chain Max C, mate. Use it up. Using with the Albaz and the kit. We don't know that they actually don't have a play. We're potentially giving them a play. This is just one draw. Oh, normal summon Lurie is not a play. We used up our normal summon on the Arvata. Oops. Set called by pass. Arvata dead. We have Droll and called by. That's it. Wow. Not surrendering after an activated call, Brand Diffusion that is. We have Albion activating Diffuse of the Graveyard going straight for the Mirror Jade. Yusuf cannot believe that Arvata is not activatable. A deck filled to the brim with fire monsters and you just have Arvata? Finger the Sanctifier. What? It was not gonna even do anything! Lethal damage! That's why we did it, just to be funny. Tamer Laura, discard herself to additionally summon a Tamer Laura, banish Tamer Laura and Tamer Laura to summon an Ulti Nochi to trigger the Tamer Laura to summon for the deck a Canna Hawk. Now, this is where you imperm the Nochi because the Nochi says that your opponent cannot target other Ritual Beast monsters you control at card effects, which, of course, I'm joking. You don't imperm here. Do not do it. In addition to dark monsters not being allowed to be special summoned, anything that's not a link is negated if activated while in defense, even if it leaves the field afterward. You can't activate then chain a quick play fusion to get it off. It will still be negated. And in addition to those two freaking floodgates, I'm gonna finger you, I'm gonna pop you, and I'm gonna banish you. Albion Shrouded, send the Retribution, draw into a late to the party Max C. Fusion deploy, summon a light monster Cartesia, which can't even be not negated under the effect of the Baguska. We have Retribution, add back the opening to be used during the next turn, I guess. End our turn. Steeds, wipe away the field, and Ulti Ray is gonna pop, banish the Steeds, plus take away the opening. Now, if the Steeds being banished, we could use Ulti Ray to add it back to our hand. Bro, it's just over, man. I mean, yeah, it's okay that you're playing this out. I'm happy to see that. Call by the Grave, finger the sea. Yes, I drew the absolute nuts. Now you can scurry off. Let's hop into game 2. Gold Sark, banish Mercourier, searching for the Albion Shrouded. Send from the deck a Retribution to draw a card. Instead of drawing, we're to send the Shrouded to the grave to also get an Albion in grave, searching for a Quem. Special summon the Cartesia, normal the Quem, send for the deck a Branded Fusion to add back with the Retribution. And with that Branded Fusion, we're going to send from the deck Lubellion and Albaz to summon an Albion Branded as we banish from Engrave, going straight into the Mirror Jade, banishing away the Shrouded Dragon. Send the Albion into the Nibiru, which I'm going to negate. Not today, mate. Stays in the hand, sure. Lubellion, setting up a Branded Lost. Let's fuse into a Grand Granol. Grand Granol, when you already have access to the Quem, is not as good, but still decent. We're going to Reborn the Mercourier, which is not only a hand trap, it's also a field trap. It does work on the field to negate a monster effect. Draw randomly into a kit through the effect of Garura being sent to the grave. Add back the Cartesia. What are we looking at here? Non-target monster banish, and isn't there a golden sword soul in the graveyard somewhere? I thought I saw it. With the non-target monster banish, we also have a monster negate. We could Reborn, fuse to the field into a form of disruption. We can brand it in red, add, and then fuse it up. We can Reborn Albaz to fuse and then fuse into a form of disruption. We have at least 7 forms of disrupt. Tamer Laura, send to the grave, additional summon the Rapengu. Send from the deck a Ritual Beast, normal summon the Canna Hawk. We're going to banish it away before it activates. We're at about 6 disruption. Come forth, Ulti Nochi, triggering the Beast Tamer Lore to summon from the deck. Mercourier, negate, call by the grave, finger the Mercourier, mate. Negate. the negate. Successfully now summoning a Ritual Beast from the deck. What now? If we have Cannahawk, we had a chance to respond before it activated. We are not going to. We're going to, in this moment, we could potentially try to disrupt them before they get fusion. We're going to Rinbrum. That's going to be one of our plays. Reborn the Albaz. This is the way. Discard a card, use with the body into how many? Wait. You're out of Albion. You sent Albion early, which was, to me, I was thinking, that I really when you did this. And then your second copy's now in the grave. So because of that, we couldn't fuse. We're going to ulti Hawk into summoning 2 bodies onto the field. What I'd be really hoping for is my Mirror Jade to leave the field in some way. I could fuse with the Brandon Red and then use the Banishment to either reborn it. Now, if it's banished with the red, you obviously cannot reborn it with the Banishment, but you could use Banishment with the Albaz to fuse with an opposing monster that's on the field, especially one from the extra deck. The battle phase we go, Banishment, reborn the Albion. As we fuse with either side of the field, we're going to fuse with the Albaz and the Lubellion. We can't respond to these summons because of the Branded Lost. Discard Albaz. Let's go into another Mirror Jade. Non-target monster banish. Branded Lost. In response to our own fusion summon, a non-respondable, non-target monster banish. Get the Kimu out of here. We are, of course, in the battle phase. Let's take out the Quem. We still have Branded in red. Cross Sheep. We're going to banish from the graveyard to summon the Protoss. Protoss declaring dark successfully. Could the red not give us a single way to deal with the Protoss before it even activates? Well, if you want to destroy the Protoss through, let's say, a Star Source or a Borlo Dragon, cannot be destroyed by card effects. Uh-oh. Albion triggering to set up a branded opening. We are under the lingering effect of dark monsters, as you can see on the screen. Dark cannot be special summoned. Albaz can fuse with a dark into a... Oh, we can go into a Mood Dragon. Very nice. As we are going 6,900 damage. Special summon Cartesia. Not even enough to Nibiru. 8,400 damage under a dark lock. Lethal damage. Nicely done. All right. Now Ritual Beast, turn 1 Protoss is you, because you feel that you are in a fair enough meta where you could just outgas your opponent without hand traps, and then they first turn kill you with a non-respondable, non-interactable freaking Floodgate mate. Summon for the deck, Ritual Beast Tamer Laura, we're gonna set, and now we're gonna trigger the Tamer Laura. This is an Ash. I would definitely Ash this. I would not be Ashing Cannahawk, that is a bait. And of course it doesn't matter when you Ash because we have a finger for your Ash. Negate. Let's check the lingering effects here. We definitely did call Dark with Protoss when I was looking at the site. Dark cannot be special summoned, and monsters that are activated while in defense are negated. So we got 2 Floodgates, plus our disruptions are negate a monster, negate a monster, negate a monster, negate a monster, banish any card in the field. 5 disruptions plus 2 Floodgates. And one of them being a lingering Floodgate, meaning that if we were to deal with the Protoss, it doesn't matter. In the lingering window, it is forever happening no matter what happens to this Protoss. Super Poly, discard to fuse away your 2 wind monsters into a Moo Dragon. Thus, we lose out on a ton of disruption. We had Imperm plus 2 Floodgates, but what do? We're gonna maintain the Baguska, come forth and summon the Ultinochi. We have not declared Protoss again yet. Now, you may be wondering a ruling here. What happens if you declare Dark, you then chain a card that gets rid of all the Dark monsters? Do you think it still floodgates you out of Dark? I'll tell you it still does, and then let's try to see why. You declare the attribute, destroy all monsters on the field with that attribute. It's not then. If it was then, or if you do, then it would have to destroy. So it is simultaneously also destroying. It is an activation requirement that the attribute exists on the field to even activate the effect, but if the attribute's no longer there, you will still also be preventing that attribute from being special summoned. Konami's one step ahead of you to ensure the floodgate goes through. Let's summon the ulti, and you know, Bagu's got an attack, so we can make our own plays, and of course this will not be floodgating again during the opponent's turn, if there even is an opponent's turn. Now, Super Poly fusing away, we already used up our Mood Dragon, so what is even our play? The Alibur plus a Protoss can go in. I think we're banking on a big Perskenian. We need the Protoss plus a Light Monster and our Alibur to be happy. Going for a Coritis with just the Protoss is not good enough. We did successfully call Dark, and we are going to fuse with the Light. Unfortunately, the Mood Dragon having to meet the requirement of the Light Monster. 3,200 defense. We're going to banish the Inochi. What do we have after losing our Protoss? We're still, of course, floodgating them with the Protoss. Dark Monsters cannot be special summoned. We have the Steeds, which can non-target pop 2 face-up monsters. And then we also have Imperm, negate a monster, and we also have Droll and Lockbird. And the monsters actually don't have to be face-up. Not that that is really relevant. Branded Fusion off the top of the deck, but we can't summon Dark Monsters, so what are we doing? Do we go into a Sanctifier? Now, what's important about Sanctifier is, does this target? If you control, destroy, it's non-freaking target. Do we have a branded opening? We have an opening to protect from the Steeds if we go into a Sanctifier play. Is that the way? Yeah, buddy. Untargetable Albion Sanctifier is here. The Inheritance is going to be activating. Oh my Jesus. Inheritance turns Baguska back on. Why have I never seen that play? If 2 or more monsters are summoned at the same time, which you will trigger yourself, you put your own Baguska back into defense. I guess duels never really get that far. Wow. What? That's crazy. Get floodgated. Nope, get back into defense. What are you doing? Oh my Jesus. That's crazy. I like that a lot. I gotta pick this deck back up and do that. Even if you try to do that, you pretty much never will. It's shocking we even got this far. Ulti Hawk, let's return, search, and we still have the Sanctifier to reborn 2 bodies onto each side of the field here. We're gonna target the Protoss and the Mercurier. Thank you for your Protoss, and you get a Mercurier. Now the Perskenian can banish an extra deck monster from the graveyard. We're going to be adding an Elder here. It's important to remember that the in-grave opening will protect the Sanctifier from being destroyed by card effects. We have the Ulti Nochi, resummoning the banished Ulti Ray onto the field. Now, Ulti Ray cannot banish an opposing card until the opponent's turn. And also, further remember, Sanctifier cannot be targeted, but it will just be destroyed by battle. Apelio Ba. Boost up the field, 3,100, now big enough to take out the Protoss. We have the Senjin in the back row come forth and summon, searching for a Golem. Let's put the Golem into the back row, summon itself onto the field. That is a 13,850 damage on the field. Steeds is going to get non-target popping. As I said, the branded opening would protect from that destruction. We're now going to have room to summon our Doom Dragon to target, push the Perskenian into the back row. We're going to steal the Infernal Flame Banshee to our side of the field. Is this enough to stave off lethal damage? Wipe out the Protoss. Battle over the Sanctifier. Alibur is going to be reborning, negating the Ulti Ray. Goodbye to the Banshee. Not enough for lethal damage. Pesh has successfully survived. And if we look at the lingering window, the best thing about it is Protoss is no longer there. We could finally... Is this the first time in this duel where we could summon a Dark Monster during our own turn? I believe so. Artesia is going to special summon, and we should be talking about our forms of disruption here. the banishment effect, banish anything on the field. We have also banish with the Little Knight. We have imperm, negate a monster. We have Duel and Lockbird, Quadra Disrupt. Now, by getting the Cartesia on the field first, it ensures that imperm cannot negate the Aluber. Perfect. Imperm, attempt to negate. Well, it's still going to negate. If you can't fuse with the Aluber because we banish your Cartesia with the Little Knight or the Ulti Ray, then you do not get to search for your branded fusion. As I was saying, banish the Cartesia, stop the fusion. We should have something in the hand to fuse with still, but we don't. Negate. That is unfortunate. This usually, that would not be a counter. It would not be a valid counter. There would always be something in the hand to fuse with. Baguska, be gone. Straight to the battle phase, almost 12,000 damage. It took everything from Hipster, Ritual Beast, Floodgate, reset the Floodgate, lock him out of Dark Monsters, Baguska him, re-Baguska him on his own turn, just to make it to the grand finale. And guess what, Hipster? You have to play Branded again. Can you do it again? Grand finale right after Hipster has mega super duper floodgated another Branded player. And here we are again against Branded. Hajime. Fusion deploy, attempting to summon for the deck. We're gonna hit them with that fluid loss. Sure. From the deck, we are gonna be going into revealing to go into Cartesia. Cartesia is going to give us targeting protection onto our Kit, Aluber, or any of our fusion monsters. We're going to Ash, negate the grass-looking greener mate, which we can now follow up with Kit. We're going to be activating the Branded Loss first, and now Kit searching for our Branded and High Spirits. Instead, because we're under the effect of Fluid Loss, we're still going to fuse into a Grand Granule. Grand Granule triggering a draw. Serenir is going to send from the deck here. Grand Granule sent from the deck. Also Branded Loss searching our deck. What we want from the deck will be an Albion Shrouded Dragon. Are we really going to activate Branded Fusion still under full? I guess we still should. Droll in Lockbird, which turns off the Albion Shroud. You can't activate Albion. It's not possible. If it's in the graveyard, we could activate it. So this is twice today where we've seen Droll turning off the Albion in hand as we were setting up to send a Branded Fusion to add back with Retribution. Albion put into the back row, Branded in red. We have Cartesia adding back to the hand. Now, is this Branded red even activatable? Targeted Despia or Albaz. We have no Despia and no Albaz. Over the grave, and if you did have something, I would have just fingered it. You have Golem here, come forth and searching for a Wedju Temple. Wedju Temple is going to place a monster in our back row. Goodbye to Nibiru, plus giving us a Senjin. This is a Ritual Beast with Millennium. Senjin into the back row to now summon our Doomed Dragon. Doomed Dragon push the Grand Granule into the back row as we now make a zombie vampire. Yusuf can't do anything but just watch. We're going to, off the top of the deck, summon a Rapangu, send from the deck a Tamer Laura, banish from the graveyard to summon an Ulti Nochi, trigger the Tamer Laura to trigger to summon a Winda, and Rapangu into the Cannahawk. Well, this was not activatable until you milled 4 for me, and now I have an Albaz thanks to your zombie vampire, but I will finger it. Finger the Fool, negate, and banish. Anyway, where was I with our Ritual Beast play? Setting up lethal damage. Ulti Cannahawk is going to summon 2 bodies as we search our deck for a Ritual Beast card, being our Cannahawk. We have not performed a normal summon yet. We're going to fuse again into Ulti Hawk, search our deck for an Inheritance. 8,800 damage on the field. Inheritance reducing the opposing monster. We're going to search for an Elder, return, discard the Ash that is. We're going to Cannahawk, banish from the deck, and just like that, with over 10,000 damage, no more plays needed, let's finish off Branded without even needing to Floodgate. Lethal damage. Ualas, Droll, and Ash. Just use 3 hand traps against them. It's not that big of a deal. We're in the draw phase. We got Drolled in game 1. We're gonna play around the Droll in game 2. Aluber searching our deck. This is a check for impermanence. No impermanent sight. I think a really good special summon negate with Retribution is going to be the effect of Canahawk. The Canahawk tag out effect to summon 2 bodies. If you hit this with an Impulse, you know, there may not be a card in the field to even use Impulse against this, so you do want to account for that. But Retribution negating this, oh my Jesus. So huge Retribution, special summon negate. We have Mercurial negate a monster effect, which I think would ideally, if you want to early negate, you could negate Canahawk. That actually would not be bad, but you could also negate a Tamer Laura summoning from the deck. It's a hard once per turn that you may want to get rid of. We also have, in addition to those 3 disruptions, we have the Mirror Jade non-target monster banish. We also have the ability to Albaz fuse at your field, go into another form of disruption, about 6 forms of disrupt. Ash, late to the party, great. Wedge Temple, get that Ash out of here. Senjin, someone for the back row searching for another Senjin. Senjin is here, so we can now go into a Doom Dragon on summon. Push the Cartesia. We're going to, looks like we're going to make the crazy play of non-target monster banish, fuse with the Mirror Jade, and then reborn it back with the Quem to then non-target monster banish again. Yes, sirree, that's exactly what we intend to do. Quem Reborn, and the Mirror Jade could send a Rinbrum if we had not already done so, which we did. And the Rinbrum could reborn the Albaz whenever we want to fuse with the opposing field. Now, it could be difficult to fuse with non-light or dark monsters, and that's where Titanclad can help with a bigger monster like Senjin if we really wanted to fuse. What are our options of even fusing with the opposing fields? Star Source can be fused with Albaz and the Protoss potentially. That might be a play. Ideally, you go into a Mirror Jade if Mirror Jade's not already on your field. But a non-target monster banish the Canahawk away. Come forth and summon Ulti Nochi, which is a worm. We're going to use the Mercurial. As I said, Mercurial can either negate the Canahawk or negate the Tamer Laura's effective summoning from the deck. The battle we go. Get the Grand Granule in grave. Nochi wipe out the Quem. We did not even have to use Retribution. Little Knight on summons going to banish a card on field or in grave. Take away the Albion before it triggers in the end phase. We have Cartesia adding back. We have High Spirits adding back. Oh boy, you clapped me up game 1, but it was because of the Fool loss. Not activating anything to ensure the Little Knight does not chain banish anything. As we're now within the battle phase, going to add back the Albaz. Whatever we fuse into cannot attack directly. Lubellion. While Lubellion can't attack directly, whatever Lubellion summons into can perform that final lethal attack. By putting Loss on the higher chain link, this can help assist in any other potential fusion plays we'd want to do. Lethal damage. Now, the Lubellion cannot use the hand, to be clear on that. Shuffling from the graveyard, face up field, or banished. 1 and 1. Are you ready? Of course. Yusuf with no hand traps. We have a board breaker after they already set up a lingering floodgate effect. We have the Ulti Nochi now going into a freaking Baguska, mate. Ain't no way. You have 2 floodgates where you cannot special summon dark monsters and anything activated while in defense, and it's forced into defense if it's not a link monster, it is negated. We have a banish any card in the field. We have pop multiple cards that are monsters. We have Ash negate and interaction with the deck. About 3 disruption plus 2 floodgates, so I guess 3 and 2. Albion Shrouded sending the Branded Fusion to draw a card here, set 4 pass. We have Emergency Teleport. We're going to want to use the Ulti Ray before the end of the turn. Randomly hitting the Call by the Grave where we wanted to ensure the Fusion Duplication remains. Before we get to the main phase, we can Fusion Duplication. But There's Baguska. So the problem isn't just the freaking Protoss. Maybe we duplication, then droplet, or do we just droplet chain to the Protoss, ensuring we also stop the Baguska? Now let's read the steeds. This is public knowledge. Destroy any monster on either side of the field per Ritual Beast control, meaning if we wait for Protoss to activate and they declare dark, you then try to make plays chaining droplet to negate the Protoss. If you don't send the duplication, they're going to be able to chain steeds to the droplet popping the Protoss. If you, let's say, obviously we send duplication, right? Now, if you don't send a monster in addition to duplication, we potentially could have a quick effect from a monster that we could chain, or if we have enough, if we're not flooded on our monsters, we could chain E-teleport to then chain the steeds to the teleport. There are potential options here on what we could do. Let's see what happens. Baguska is no longer floodgating the duplication, which was perfect. Wow. Thank you very much. And mind you, the Protoss was being floodgated by the Baguska, to be fair. Let's fuse it up here. Lubellion, Searing Dragon, discard a card to fuse it up. The ulti ray cannot chain banish anything. It's only during the opponent's turn. You still have steeds to get poppin'. Ash cannot negate a duplication, copying the effect of Branded Fusion. You have non-target monster banish. And that's it. If we could force Ritual Beast into the grind game, Branded has one of the best grind games there is. Now, the issue is, what do we have beyond that banish? Can we still survive this turn? Because they have the power of the Millennium Engine, which gives an additional 7750 damage plus push a monster into the back row. I don't think we could survive that. Well, maybe with Droplet we have at least that. We have Rinbrum Reborn Albaz fused to the opposing field into another form of disruption. We have at least 3 forms of disruption after that Mirror Jade non-target monster banish. We're flaming on for this because it all comes down to this very turn. Are you ready? Let's go. And Hawk activate. Ulti Hawk is here. We're thinking about the most opportune moment for Droplet. Hipster is coping that they waste any other forms of disruption they have to then whip out the Millennium Engine from nowhere. We got the Inheritance. Go forth an Ulti Hawk. Ulti Hawk is going to again search the deck and summon 2 banished Ritual Beasts. If we had Inheritance on the field, we could have put the Baguska in defense, possibly. Probably don't want to do that on our own turn. We actually just want to win this turn. That is the goal. Banish again for Ulti Hawk, and we are revealing the Millennium Engine early. Not wasting time, grabbing the Golem. Golem into the back row, special summon the Golem. We don't have room to summon our Doom Dragon. Do we link off something? Wedju Temple. Ulti Ray is going to grab back a banished Tamer Laura, making room for a Doom Dragon play. Wedju setting up 2, and just like that, exactly what I was saying, Doom Dragon push the Mirror Jade back. Forbidden Droplet is being used to send the fusion deployment. I talked about this earlier, how the steeds would be used to block or dodge the Droplet, and that's exactly what's happening. We're gonna dodge it, and now what's really screwed up is the Mirror Jade will be pushing the back row, and the effect of, it's not really an effect, you can only control 1 Mirror Jade. And we have in Graveyard a Rinbrum, which could summon Albaz, which could summon a Mirror Jade, but it can't summon a Mirror Jade if the Mirror Jade is stuck in the back row due to the Doom Dragon that we are not even able to negate because the Steeds is gonna pop it to dodge the negate. Pop it. Negate nothing. Push it into the back row. You cannot summon another Mirror Jade. And now the Apollo can negate the Rinbrum or negate the Albaz. This is not looking good. Bah. Boost up the field, over 10,000 damage. We're gonna attempt to Rinbrum when it's now too late. Apollo, negate. We reduced by 800, but still over 9,000 damage. 2,300, Baguska, lethal damage. Ritual Beast wins it all. Damn. Back-to-back, 2 different branded players. Oh my Jesus. Using the Steeds to dodge the Droplet, whether it was going to be used on a Protoss or something else. Wow. Meta Weekly before a new pack release for July. You may be thinking, we just had a new pack. That's a fake pack. It's a mini pack with the Gladiator and Arcana. We knew that wasn't going to be top tier. But if we have the July pack aligned with what happened last year, where they released tier 1 super crazy top tier Yubel, maybe they're going to do that again with something else. And right before that happens, we have Crystron and branded Memento Punk being the top 4 decks randomly in this event. 2 Punk players within the top 16. You what, mate? We also have Orchist, a pretty cool amount of rogue decks within the top 16, with Crystron being the most dominant. Now, this is incorrect. There's 2 Snake Eye players. There's Snake Eye Fire King, and this not, I mean, what do we put Melodious Snake Eye under? Melodious? Or do we put it under pure Snake Eye? Or do we just create Snake Eye Melodious? You'll see the Melodious deck. We're gonna start off with it right now. Boom. Pure Melodious, right? This is Melodious. Kang in the top 8 with Melodious. A little bit of Snake Eye on the side. Very well done here. I was impressed with the Asinato going into the Absolute Dragon, into the Vortex Dragon with the way to go into the Banshee. In addition to all that craziness. Good job. Also, Apollo. You'd have what? Apollo, Vortex, and Snake Eye Search. Crazy. Oakless, of course, because we're using the new ban list. We have Orchist, Timeless. Could not wait for the new Orchist support. He had to play it early. And what we have that no one else has is the Mermaid. It's banned in the TCG, banned in the OCG. And a lot of people are wondering, what does that mean for when we actually get Orchist in Master Duel? Some say it's not going to be a big deal. I think we're just going to have to see when it actually comes out. It may end up being a crazy deal, where we could still go into Moon, make all your Fiendsmith plays, and then go into Nightmare Phoenix, Nightmare Mermaid, and then fully pop off into Orchis from there. Good job, Timeless. Well done. The Millennium Engine is far from dead. In fact, it's almost as if more people are playing Millennium after the ban list hit. What's going on? Fiendsmith control Justinian without playing Primite. That was a big question from some people. Where the Primite at? We took out Primite to pump up the Crimson tier to 3, and potentially also the Millennium Engine. Millennium Engine and higher Crimson tier, very nice here. What else do we have? Tier limit, Maybach 41 cards. Here is the full deck, looking good. And with this tier limit deck, I'm thinking, all I could think about one thing is boom, this tier with the Kelbeck, Agido, tier limit field spell, and the Merly. They're all gonna be limited to 1. It's not fully unlimited, and we are using the current limits of the ban list where, I mean, look at this. This is gonna still be limited to 2 Sharon, limited to 1 Hovness. Is that gonna prevent, and also limited to 1 Solic, and not that that's a big deal. What about Herald of Orange Light? Is Orange Light fully unlimited? Ooh, yes it is. Fully unlimited Orange Light with the Ishizu cards, but the Ishizu cards are being limited to 1. That is definitely something. I do suspect also possibly that the no ban list tier limit may be using Fiendsmith with Beatrice. Fiendsmith, Beatrice, dump a Kelbeck or a Agido to fully pop off from there. That seems to be the way. And we'll find out in a few days. And then we have Gimmick Puppet. This ain't no gimmick in Normal Boy's hand. First turn killing, doing well, also going second. Condolence Puppet is why the deck can do well going second. Nicely done, Normal Boy. What else do we have here? We already looked at the Melodious deck, Snake Eye Fire King. You could either, with Melodious or Fire King, cope with the fact that you don't have Oak. And 2 Snake Eyes in the top 16 is pretty good, I'd say so. And also being wildly different. The Melodious version was not playing Fiendsmith. This is not playing Azamina, so they are quite a bit different. Good job. We also have Ritual Beast, which, wait. The content manager's preset hipster to lose? What? No way. He still got second place on the arc. Can we fix that? Let's look at Memento. Memento P Gym. 41 cards. Memento here. We got triple super poly. You know what I don't see? No Fiendsmith. And the best performing, not Melodious, I got Melodious, Memento deck in the Duels Cup also did not play Fiendsmith. Nicely done, P. Jim. And then we have The Fiend, also not playing Fiendsmith. You do not need to play Fiendsmith to whip out your Memento. I'm still waiting for someone to pull off the Paradise Smasher. I'm convinced it's a freaking meme and it's only happening at Gold and Silver Elo. You tell me. What else do we have? Branded. You didn't get first. Pesh to the banana. 45 cards, looking good, as the other branded Mad Lad played 60 instead. We have Fusion Deployment. We're not playing Allure of Darkness. Looking good. No branded sword is something I want to be pointing out. Only 2 Quem, 1 Quem, 2 Cartesia. All right. And then we have another branded. Yusuf got second place, so this will be fixed. Not a big problem, though. There's the extra deck. We have Anaconda, but no Anaconda in this version. We are playing triple deployment, triple Allure of Darkness. We got the room, and despite playing more cards than Pesh, we play 1 Cartesia, 2 Quem, where this is 2 Cartesia, 1 Quem. I also have 2 Mercourier. I don't think you'd want to play 1 Mercourier, 1 branded sword, but this works out. Good job to Pesh. You also have 2 Mercourier and the branded sword to add it back if needed. Very well done. Was Pesh playing Tragedy? Tragedy list. No tragedy in sight in the 45 card version for Pesh. Well done. Let's see. We have the Ritual Beast player. Hipster who got first place. This is first freaking placemate. 45 cards with the 5 extra cards is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5 card Millennium Engine giving us additional +5. Sure. Well done, Hipster. You're making me want to try the deck out again. I really liked the Inheritance, putting Baguska back in D, no matter how rare that will actually be. That was pretty cool. And what else do we have? We have Punk. What the Punk? Bug B20. 44 cards. We're not only punking, we're also fiend smithing. All right. And then Denny. Denny is wait, are you both playing a Millennium? Not playing Millennium? Is playing Millennium and Fiendsmith. All right, now this is a light touch of Fiendsmith. We don't have Lurie, we don't have Crimson, we do have Crimson Tier, we don't have the Tract, where in Bug B is playing Tract and Lurie and double Engraver. To make room for the Millennium Engine, we did take out those other cards. That does make sense, that is fine, sure. I was playing Fiendsmith similarly to this in my Oakless Snake Eye deck, so I can understand wanting to make necessary cuts to fit in other ideas. We also have Crystron. Well, the most Crystron's gone to the top 16, but they fumbled and stumbled their way through it to only make it to the top 8 and not past that. Bori, 40 cards. Looking quite standard here, nothing out of the ordinary. This is usually at the end of a very long stream, so I'm out of my mind, and if there's something I missed, you let me know. We have LBF Max C. A lot of people playing DD Crow. Double DD Crow, triple DD Crow. We have Droll. The deck can Droll itself very easily and still make great plays if your opponent maxes or full losses you. We have Crossout with not even a single copy of Fool Loss to negate it. Is that the same thing here? We don't play Crossout, but we're playing triple Fool Loss in Bori's build. And then we have Abdullah. Abdullah claims that he's missing a 3rd Senjin, despite winning prize support, so he has the money to craft a 3rd one. Otherwise, he would prefer to play a 3rd Senjin, and I believe he said he would drop the Wedju Temple to 2. Despite being handicapped by just 2 Senjin, he still is back-to-back the best performing Crystron player within the event. Nicely done, Abdullah. 1 card doesn't make too much of a difference if you're super top tier. Very nice, and there you go. That is the event, the final event before the new pack of July. And what's gonna be on the menu for new tournaments is we're gonna have Wednesday and Thursday, a no banless event, and then the new pack day is on Friday, which we normally would stream, but because it's 4th of July and we don't want a low turnout in addition to it already being a tournament during the week, we're going to instead Give players the opportunity to play test with the new pack Friday and Saturday, and then that Sunday, 2 days after the new pack, we're gonna have our tournament where everyone's gonna be refreshed and, you know, clapping up the ladder and play testing with their friends. So we're gonna have the best of the best on this Sunday with the new pack. Hopefully, I'll see you all then in addition to the Wednesday and Thursday stream. Thank you very much. Let's go.